So really the very key to success is what? Communication. You heard this, right? Key to success is communication. Now how do you communicate? By talking, by opening up your mouth to anyone you meet. You share your ideas. This is talk. But see, what does it take? I mean, what do you call this? What's the responsibility when we talk? It's just like blah, 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 blah. You just, do your bullshit stuff or you talk sense. Okay? So, Abraham Lincoln actually wrote a book. I read a long time ago. And in one of his pages, he mentioned about the power of talking. Okay, and I'd like to discuss that this evening. The power of talking. While all the men would be smoking their cigars, okay? The politicians, they'll be talking. Abraham Lincoln would spend time with the wives, talking to the wives. But see, his way of talking he's not the one talking, he's just basically listening. He was listening. And he got great ideas from the wives who were very much involved in the day-to-day household of America. And a lot of his great ideas actually came about from hearing, from listening. In fact, there was a study recently on communication, okay, the power of communication. They sent like 5 people on different flights. Okay? They sent 5 people on all different flights. And there is an assigned, beside them sitting, right, is a person who's meant to interview them or talk to them. Okay? And after the flight is over, this would be like an hour, 3-hour flight sometimes, right? They would be interviewed, right? These people that were interviewed would be interviewed, right? About the person sitting right to them, how they were as a person. Okay? The thing is, these people that were meant to interview some passengers, right? They were told that they should not divulge their name, should not give an address, no information. They should not give any information. All they need to do is listen. So your task is to talk to someone, but you don't talk to them. You get this? Now how do you do that? It's an art form then. So what happens after the whole talk, basically because they were just listening, right? The passenger sitting beside them just simply started talking about their lives, and all they did was listen. And their response, all of them, their response is the same. They said they had the best person that they spoke to on that flight. But all that guy did was listen. So the interviewer would ask them, so what's the name of the guy? And they go, I don't know. Where does he live? Oh, I don't know. They don't know anything about that guy, but all that guy did was actually listen. So Abraham Lincoln emphasizes on this. So on his communication, on talking, he defines talking. Okay? And this is very easy to remember. So T stands for, in talking, T stands for timing. So when you talk to someone, timing is crucial. What is timing? Just like in an engine, if you don't have the timing in an engine, it won't run. In music, without the timing of a melody on an instrument, if it's out of tune, if the timing is not there, you won't have music. So similarly, when you talk to someone, when you present to someone about an idea, sometimes you wonder they don't catch it. How come they didn't join me? Because your timing was not there. That's what it's all about. Like you wonder, how come I spent an hour with this guy and he joined another person? And you wonder. The timing wasn't right. So there's what you call a tee off. You know tee off? You know in golf, there's what you call the tee off, the first shot. God, it's such a ritual for a lot of players. You know, they put this ball there and they do their stress. Before they hit the ball, there's just so much preparation that went to it because they could just sham the ball and the ball won't fly. So they call it the tee off. Teeing off refers to the full preparation just so that you're on the right timing when you speak to someone. The question is, do you even prepare? Do you have that timing when you talk? So timing and talking, sometimes you try to catch someone, either they're just getting married, or sometimes you might be doing some presentation to someone who just had a funeral, or, you know, is in a party, or he's on his phone, or whatever. Especially today, it's just so hard to find that timing when you talk to someone. But that is very crucial. And when you start to talk to someone, you must be looking at those timings, meaning preparation. Like I remember when I was a kid, before I asked for an allowance from my mom, I make sure I do the proper teeing off. Right? I clean my room, I throw the garbage, and I catch her when she's just lying down, just about to rest. Massage her a bit. Then she knows already, I'm going for the kill, right? I need like $20 or whatever. So there's some whole preparation. You can't just, if I just ask, oh mom, give me $20, that's bad timing. What I'm just gonna get shot at, right? So there's a whole preparation that goes with it. So that's the letter T in talking. What's the next one? A. A is for appreciation. When you talk to someone, you can't just be talking at them. Like sometimes when you're presenting, you're just so into your presentation, you just want your spiel. And they're rejecting it. They're having some conflict. Oh, this is like this is like that. And you end up defending, and you end up arguing with them. You say, no, you're trying, because you feel you're being attacked. So instead of being able to penetrate, what you end up is this person ends up a bitter argument with them because they're attacking. In fact, they're not attacking. They just have a lot of concern, right? And appreciation means that you try to be in their shoe, be in their space. Why is this guy having these issues? What's his issues? What's his concern? And try to answer that one by one. You cannot be talking to someone and not appreciate that person. The reason you're communicating because you want to give something. In fact, the whole purpose of, the whole meaning of presenting, like presenting an idea, it's a present, it's a gift. So when you want to give someone a gift, you prepare it nicely, you put it in a nice box, you wrap it depending on the person's, that you cannot have a same presentation to one single person. Every person, you have to wrap their gift in a different way. You have to wrap the presentation. So it's not like you just pick some, online presentation or someone and you kind of like, that's your presentation to everybody. You gotta design your own presentation based upon the person you're presenting to. Who is that person? Does he like blue color, red color? What is he into? Is he into dolls, balls? Like when you give a gift on Christmas, right? You try to find out, okay, what's this person? What's his like? And I would try to think of a gift that he would want to have. Now when I'm presenting you a gift, would you not be appreciative? It's a gift, right? I remember my daughter would always tell me, Pa, you know, I'm more excited about the wrappings. So make sure because normally when I travel, I don't have time. I just pick up something, you know, and give her. She's not so happy when I bring her something and it's not wrapped. What's the point in a gift if it's not wrapped? So on our presentation, you gotta wrap it nicely. Put the trimmings, the ribbons, the flowers, the colors. Make it exciting so that the person can appreciate that you went out your way to actually give this gift. And that gift becomes valuable, whatever you're presenting. Who would reject a gift unless it's a dead dog? You know, if I give you a dead dog, you'll be repulsed. You won't appreciate it. Right? What's the point? What's this? So if someone is thinking you're giving them a dead dog, someone is thinking you're giving them a pyramiding company, someone is thinking you're scamming them, they're going to be running away. But whose fault would this be? Whose fault would this be? You're coming too strong. You didn't give them the picture of it. So you failed in your talking. You failed in your timing. You failed in your appreciating who they are. So normally when I talk to someone, they call me master of one-on-one. Well, kind of like it became a label, but I tried to find out about that person, who I'm going to be speaking to. Has he been into some network marketing company before? Has he been scammed? What's his story? Because knowing his story would be easier for me now to tailor my presentation to what he needs to hear. That is appreciation. And the third one is what? Letter L. Oh, the mic, you need to fix. What's letter L? Listening. How can you listen while you talk? Do you know your eyes? Like right now, I'm talking, but I'm actually listening. Because by looking, I can somehow sense. Okay, I can sense what you're feeling, what you're thinking, if you're appreciating the direction of my talk. You get to sense this. If you're open, accepting me, if you're looking at your time, you're rushing, I would know, right? And you would, I mean, it's not rocket science. You know, when you're talking to someone and they keep on looking at their phone, wishing it's gonna ring, right? They're looking at their watch. What are they telling you? Huh? They're rushing. But you're still doing your thing. They're rushing. You're seeing it, but you're not listening. And you're thinking, well, they didn't tell me. You know what I mean? It's their fault. They didn't tell me. No, they're ashamed, or they don't want to. Of course, they just don't want to tell you off. You're being polite, but at the same time, they're just not there with you. So how can you present? So you're failing to listen. You're failing to listen to them. So listening means you observe what this person is going through. You ask, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, how much time does he have? Or sometimes you call them for some meeting, oh, just 10 minutes, but then you have a whole 2-hour spiel, which is a killer. You know, do you guys still do those 4 hours presentation? I hope not. I never done those 1-hour presentation. It's just, I won't sit down for an hour. Would you watch a video for more than 15 minutes? Right now, today, the millennials today won't even watch a video more than a minute. It should be Instagrammable, you know, less than a minute. That's it. So try presenting to them for an hour. That would be really tough. So you try to really tailor it, listen to what they need, depending on the, I don't know, I've not signed up someone in a very long time. But even when I still present with government officials, when I talk to bankers and stuff, I try to concise. Just give them the whole, picture first. Just like, like what an architect would do. When an architect would present to you a whole design of your house. Is it the first day meeting all about the details on how much it's going to cost you? That's the first day of the meeting? No. The first meeting would be showing you a nice graphic, not even the blueprint. Blueprint is detailed. There's just the perspective of your house with you and your husband holding hands with a dog. You know what I'm saying? And you go, you see, yeah, that's my dream house, right? They don't immediately talk to me, it's going to cost you some millions. Why? You immediately reject it. But once you see the perspective, the picture, the bigger picture of what is that picture, hey, this is my home. And you've accepted it, right? So the next coming meetings would be the details. You won't mind sitting for hours. Why? This is my home. And you could tell the person, hey, this is your home. You gotta give me time, this is your home. But on the first day, on our first meeting, you don't know what I'm showing you. So I gotta be able to show you a perspective that this is your business. Okay, don't let me run after you. This is your business. You can have it. So when I come back, I can take an hour, 2 hours, you won't mind. Is this true or not? But see, that's how you have to make them see. The problem we have is we don't let them see, and we come in so strong. That's why I remember I took this very nice verse. It's an old Vedic Indian saying. Go in like a needle and come out like a plow. You heard of this? It's a very old Indian saying. So when you talk to someone, you have to go in like a needle. What does that mean? Yeah, you're not realizing, you don't realize it's entering you. But when it comes out, it's like a plow. You know, like a plow, when you plow the field, you could see the damage, right? But most people, arrogant, they come in like a plow. So like with their watch, their big checks, and you get so scared. I remember I see people signing up with their big checks. I remember in the old days when me and VJ was starting, I didn't show anybody a check of how much I was making, because there was no check at that time. But still, I got used to not showing any check. They gotta believe what I have to say as a person, because if they end up signing up with me because of my big check, then I know my relationship with them is a one-night stand. It's not a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as they meet another person with a bigger check, they're gonna leave you. And I met so many people at that time who were showing me big check, and I wasn't making money yet with my upline VJ. I had to stay. I had to stay because it's a relationship. The way I was signed up, I was not enticed by the big checks. Because he didn't have the big check to show me anyway. So it's a different approach. Okay? So listening, when you speak of listening, this is very crucial, that you're very sensitive. You observe on people, especially the type of business we're in. You don't force them. Don't coerce anyone. Please, don't do that. So T-A-L, and you have K for talk, talking, I-N-G. K stands for what? Knowledge. Is knowledge important? Yes. You gotta know about the subject matter that you want to talk about. Know about the background of the company. Okay, know about the product. Know about the plan. Not just that, but what's going on, you know? What's going on with the company? What's in reality? And I don't know why you came here. You came here so you could get more knowledge, because knowledge is what? It's your bullet. It's your ammunition. Imagine when you're talking to someone and you start, when you talk, what happens? You engage in, you have an engagement, and the engagement is like a battle. And you start engaging with someone and you're shooting, but there's no bullets. You lose. You're talking. Key to success is communication. But for you to communicate, you must be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. If you don't have the bullet and you're just guessing, I would know in a minute. Your prospect would know in a minute. And what happens? You immediately die. You lose your prospect. Because what is there? He's asking a question and you scratch your head. So knowledge is important. Even if you're caught that you don't know the question, don't pretend you know. You just say, oh, that's every time I ask questions a long time ago and I don't have the answer, I go, this is such a great question. Let me write it. I'll come back in a day and I'll find out. Thank you so much for raising this. Then you move along. And by doing this, what am I doing exactly? I'm appreciating his concern. I'm not pretending I know the answer. I don't know the answer. I say I don't know. But man, this good thing you came up with this question. I have to ask this question myself. So you're training yourself. Someone gets to help you come up with the questions that you never thought of regarding the company, the product, the plan. And you go back. You go to upline. You go to the company and find out and ask. And come back with a question, with an answer. And you go back to that person. And that person would now bond with you because he would appreciate that, hey, this guy is really honest. He came back, he gave me the answer, and that's like immediately you're bonding. The relationship is being established. And he now knows that you're not just there for just a scam. And it's not a technique, it's a genuine thing that you would do for someone you care about. T-A-L-K. Timing, appreciation. Appreciate the person. You listen, and you have knowledge. Now what does this tell you? This fourth thing tells you, talk. What does it tell you? Right? Talking is it's a responsibility. And those 4 items must already be there in the word talk. Timing, your timing must be there. When I speak about timing, when I think about timing, right, there's also appreciation that I'm not disturbing your busy time. But you know, in my experience, when people tell you they're busy, in fact, they're just not interested. to what you have. Or I don't know, they don't know what you have. They're not interested. In fact, Sun Tzu, you heard of this? The Shaolin, The Art of War. Basically, he defines being busy, as a disease of the heart. It's someone, it is an excuse you give someone you don't want to see. So you need an excuse to give someone you don't want to see. What do you tell them? Huh? I'm busy, right? I'm busy. That's the I think the most used excuse. I'm busy. But I've witnessed big businessmen, bankers. They're busy, right? I invite them for a golf game. Bam! Right away, they're there. And they'll give me 4 hours of their time playing golf. But the other day, I was asking for 10 minutes. They're busy. For golf, they'll give 4 hours. So are they really busy? So when people tell you they're busy, you know they've not seen what you want to present. So you gotta find that timing. Okay, how can I present? How can I show this to them? Because I know it's gonna interest them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I remember when I was in the early days, I have an uncle, he runs a advertising agency. So he's a very big man. And he remembers me as when I was still wearing shorts. So here, I had this situation where I wanted to sign him up because he's a big businessman. We all want to sign up big business people, right? Big fish, you want to sign them up. So I went to him, but I was thinking, why would this guy sign up with me? He remembers me as Joey who used to wear shorts before. And what? I'm going to teach him how to be successful? Isn't it odd? You go to your uncle, someone who's successful, and you're not, and you're going to teach them and tell them, hey, you're going to be successful. Because by giving them a presentation, basically you're telling them, you're a failure, you've not made it in life. Here, I have a plan how to be successful. Isn't that's what you're doing? Every time you present to someone, you're engaging them, you're starting a war, in a way. Because you're telling them you suck, you know, you failed in life. Here, I have a better plan for you. That's what you're saying. So I told myself, I don't think I could do this, because it's just odd. So what I did, I thought of a strategy. So I told myself, I went to my uncle, I said, Uncle, I came upon this business. But see, I'm an amateur, and you're the expert in business. Can you please look at it for me? Okay? And I'll come back tomorrow. I leave the brochures. I'll come back tomorrow. I hope you'll have time to look at it, because I don't want to get into something that might be, not good, be risky. Please tell me. Of course, he immediately, right, my approach made him felt good. Why? Because I was respecting his status. So immediately he assured me, yeah, of course, I look at this and I'll make sure you're not going to be joining these scams, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, before the day ended, I got a call from him. Come. I have some questions. So, okay, sir, I list down his questions, and some I could answer, some I said, I'll come back, I'll find out. We did this for a few days. And until said, hey, this is good. You could, I'd like to sign up as well. Give me some 2 coins, blah, blah, blah. At that time, we were selling coins. And I signed him up, but not to be a downline that is going to work. He bought because he saw, hey, this is a good opportunity. But see, imagine if my approach was, hey, uncle, sign up, you're gonna be rich if you join me, you're gonna make $10,000 a week, all of these things. He would have just shut me down like that. Hey, boy, where did you come from? You know what I mean? Where were you before? I'm successful, you're not. What are you talking about? It's an ego clash right away. So this sensitivity, I'm just giving you some example that when you talk to people, okay, they're not walls. Each person is a whole different planet you walk into, and a whole different strategy you must have in your approach with them, whether they're mothers, It's just, I just remember again, like one of my downlines before. He came back to me, he said, Japa, I don't know anyone to sign anymore. I've saturated my friends and stuff. And who should I sign? He was asking me. And I was like, out of the blue, I just said, have you signed up your wife? And he went, my wife? Like, what would she do? I said, I don't know, but our rule is 3 feet rule. You're sleeping with your wife, you should sign her up. So she signed up the wife, you know what? The wife ended up a bigger networker than him. But see, he had to bring me. I had to, do that because the wife, doesn't trust him. He doesn't believe in him. I had to help him out to sign up his wife. So sometimes it's a person just right next to you, you're sleeping with. But you're not seeing. That's why we gotta open our minds, And how do you open this? You gotta, you have to have this extra vision to see who can I sign up. Just like when I remember one time I would be like walking in this block on a regular basis. And I didn't notice the for lease homes. But when I was looking for a home to lease or to buy, I started noticing. Then I found out they've been there for 6 months, they're being on lease for the last 6 months, but I wasn't seeing it that time. You understand? And because now I'm looking, it's popping up. You get these special eyes, or your special car, like your dream car. You know what I mean? Your dream car. And next thing you know, you're seeing all the cars the color, the brand, and it would pass really fast, and you saw it, and your friends, you go, hey, that's my dream car, and your friends didn't even see it. Why are you seeing it this time? Because you're looking. So are you looking? You have to open yourself you gotta be open to see these things. Because it's like magic. Really, truly, it's magic. And you gotta train yourself to have these eyes to see. Not just this eye, the feeling. How you touch, how you hear. You could also see by hearing. Like I would hear things and I would see opportunities. You know what I'm saying? There's just this whole vibe that you get to appreciate. So this is talking, T-A-L-K. Then we have next one, I is the most important thing as well, integrity. When you talk to someone, why do you give a business card? Why do you think the tradition is to give a business card? Because I want you to know I'm not a one night company. Right? So I give you my name. There's an email, you could check the website, you could check my address, and you could So like do your due diligence. And I'm trying to establish my integrity by giving you a business card. Right? And in the process of talking, right, I'll try to find out, oh, you're from Kerala. Oh yeah, my aunt used to work there. And then somehow try to like fish whether the teacher is my teacher in high school as well. And then you realize, hey, yeah, he's your teacher as well. Then immediately you have affinity. What are you establishing? Integrity. When you talk to people, especially your initial presentation, you need to establish trust. How do you establish trust? Integrity. So the problem with integrity, see, you cannot, your past, in fact, you've already established an integrity. If you're like 40, 30, 25 years old today, right, you already have a track record of integrity. Let's say, for example, you had some debts in your town. You owe people some money. 500 here, 200 there, $1,000, but you never paid them. And here you are, you come back to town from abroad, you just joined Qnet, and you want to save the whole community by signing them up. Okay? And you start showing plans to the people that you borrowed money from. I mean, who else? We have common friends. But see, before you could even present, these people heard you're coming in town. What do you think they're going to be doing? Warning all your friends, be careful with this person because he borrowed money from me, never paid me. Okay, and here you are, and you're not aware of this rumor, not rumor, it's the truth. It's spreading, and you have some people anti-campaigning for you. So then it's a struggle for you now to sign up people because there's a negative issue. You know what I mean? And that's something that you would have to be fixing. That's why I remember in the early days, VJ, he knew this for a fact, and I learned this from him. The first thing he did, we have some directors that had bad debts, credit card debts and stuff. He immediately paid them all off. Of course, we collected from the directors after. Deduction from salary. But even those small debts, you know the $100 bill, you think that, hey, it's okay? It's gonna hunt you back. So what to speak of integrity, of cheating, of getting people's check and signing them up and, you know what I mean, just using the money or misusing it, times like that. Those are issues that we have to handle. So integrity is so crucial. So establishing integrity. And what's next? Letter N. Find the need. Everybody has a need. Find the need and you feed it. Like when you talk to people, everybody has a need. Where are you sitting on the floor? You're okay? Find their need and you feed it. And it's not about giving money. Like I remember when I first met VJ, I had issues myself. My business was, whatever business I had, little business I had that time, was failing miserably, right? I had debts that I need to settle. I had a lot of issues, okay, concerning money and stuff like that. And the first thing he promised me, he said, Japa, let's do this business. And I promise that you'll be able to pay. I'll help you pay. And he did exactly that. First year of the business, I was debt-free. We paid. From the what I made, But he taught me how to do it, how to get rid of your debts, by paying not the whole amount right now, just 20% of whatever you make, you pay it. In 1 year, you're completely paid, whether it's credit card bills and stuff like that. But see, he saw the need. He saw what I needed, and he assured me of that. And it wasn't a false promise. He said, if you work hard from your earning, I'll teach you how to handle money. Because money management is something we should also learn. Not everybody knows how to manage money. So there was a time before we were already earning quite a lot. BJ taught me, okay, just 1,000 a week. Practice on 1,000 a week before you would get your other checks that I was receiving. And that was like, but I rather go through the discipline of learning how to handle $1,000 a week, because $10,000 a week would be the same. It's just an add-on number. So he saw the need, what I needed the most, and he filled it up. And in talking, we get to find, those are the things we need to be finding out. And lastly, the letter G is giving. What do you give? Your time. In talking, basically, you give your time. You don't give money, but the time you give to the person you're talking to is the greatest of all values. That's how you build a relationship. So this is the principle of talking. Talking. Timing, appreciation, listening, knowledge, integrity, need, and giving. You won't forget this, right? It's a very simple acronym, but it's full of information that could actually help you succeed in your business, because we must learn the art of communication, which entails for you to talk. So I only have 4 rules I'm going to leave you. Okay? One is, you must talk always, in the proper sense. Okay? Second, if the first one fails, if your talking fails, you go to rule number 2. What's rule number 2? Talk. If rule number 1 fails, what's rule number 1? What's rule number 1? Talking. So you must talk. Can you apply this rule? If rule number 1 fails, what's rule number 2? Talk. Same, talking. If rule number 2 fails, what's rule number 3? Talking. Rule number 4? In short, don't stop talking. Continuously talk, and you will see, and you'll get good at talking, and one day you'll be successful. So, can I leave you some wishes? So I wish all of you to fail on a constant basis, because only in failing that you succeed. Thank you so much.